And Niagara has declared a state of emergency ahead of next month's solar eclipse. Well, more than 1 million people are expected to descend on the region for the event. Niagara's regional chair says the move is being made out of an abundance of caution and to make sure the area is prepared. People are being told to expect long crowds and lines and to wear only certified eclipse glasses. And for reaction to the Niagara region declaring a state of emergency in advance of the solar eclipse, we're joined live this morning by Wayne Redekop, Mayor of Fort Erie. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. Obviously, this is an exciting event, but you have to obviously plan accordingly for it. I want to talk a little bit about the preparations ahead of this event, and what do you think should be going into place to ensure that this is a safe event for everyone?
Yeah, there's been a lot of discussions going on over the past several months between local municipalities, the region, a variety of emergency services, to make sure that whatever number of people come forward, we will be able to manage. The biggest issues will be traffic and congestion, access by emergency vehicles to any emergencies that might arise. And of course, we want to make sure that people are safe.
We're back with Wayne Redekop, Mayor of Fort Erie, for more on the state of emergency declared in Niagara region ahead of the solar eclipse. We lost your connection there, and I think we got it back. So let's circle back and talk about some of the preparations. And you were touching upon something very important, is managing not only the vehicle traffic, but the foot traffic as well.
Right, and so the challenge for us will be, if emergencies arise, how will the emergency vehicles get there, whether it's a fire, whether it's the police, whether it's emergency medical services. So we have to make sure that we've got adequate plans with respect to traffic control. And of course, with the number of people that are coming in, we're trying to make sure that there's washroom facilities available that ordinarily wouldn't be there. We've been warning our residents to travel as little as possible that weekend, primarily stay as close to home as you can, and to do your shopping beforehand, because when the large influx of tourists come in, and we don't really know how many there will be, there could very well be challenges at the grocery stores, at a variety of other stores. And so, it's an unknown. We know that it's going to happen. We just don't know what the number of people who will be showing up will be. But we know that because we're in the middle of the path of the eclipse, there will be a lot of people in this area.
I was there about a decade ago when there was that, famous walk across the tightrope, and that was a big event. There was a lot of people, but I have a feeling this is going to draw even more people, especially internationally. And I'm curious, when it comes to having the right amount of resources, when it comes to fire, emergency, paramedics, does the region have to reach out to other neighboring police forces and paramedic services to add extra staff in the event that they need it?
We don't believe that will happen. There are a number of municipalities, basically Fort Erie, Port Colborne, Niagara Falls, that will be in the middle of the path. So there are a number of municipalities in Niagara that will be on the fringes. We don't think that they'll be getting quite the crowds that the first three municipalities will be getting. So if there are fire services, as an example, they can be allocated, but it's going to be all hands on deck. And it'll be the same thing with the Niagara Regional Police. I believe the OPP will be involved. I know that the RCMP will be helping to monitor what goes on the lake and on the river. Municipalities that are in that path are also closing their offices that day to make sure that we can allocate additional resources. And I know that's part of the reason that the region made the state of emergency declaration, because they want to make sure that they can deploy their workforce as necessary and where necessary.
Mayor, when you tell a lot of people during the solar eclipse who've never experienced one of these things to not look up, because it could actually damage your sight, it could permanently damage your retina. There's always those curious people out there that are just going to say, "Yeah, I'm okay. I could do it." What's your message to those people when it comes to the seriousness of protecting your eyes when it comes to taking a look at this solar eclipse?
Yeah, that's really been the focus of any agency, any government that's been trying to reach out to the public to make sure that they're aware of the fact that looking at the sun is something you just don't do. So the town of Fort Erie, most of the other municipalities, the region, the Niagara Parks Commission have been distributing the appropriate type of glasses that can be utilized by individuals. And we're encouraging everyone to wear them, and we're discouraging anyone from doing anything stupid. Now, you're right, there will be some people who will take the opportunity, particularly, I suppose, when the eclipse is at its greatest, to take a look at the sun. But we're very concerned about individuals not taking care of themselves.
What's your message to motorists who are maybe making their way on, the QEW, they're on the highways, and maybe they're not heading into the heart of Niagara Falls, but they're on the roads, and they might be able to, it might be visible to them when they're on the roads. What's the message to drivers? Do they need to wear anything protective behind the wheel?
Well, if they're driving during the eclipse, I guess they'll be watching the road, hopefully, and not the sun.
Yeah.
Passengers in the vehicle should, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're in the view of the eclipse, you shouldn't be looking at the sun. It doesn't matter where you are. You could be in a vehicle, in a bus, in a washroom, in a building, out in the park. Just don't look at the sun.
And lastly, let's also talk about something positive, because this is obviously an economic boom for a region like this. There's a lot of neighboring restaurants and stores and hotels that are going to benefit from all these visitors. Talk a little bit about that and how important that impact is on the region.
Well, it's a very important economic development tool for sure. And for tourism, I know that all of the hotels in Niagara Falls are full. I know that all the short-term rentals in Fort Erie, Niagara Falls, presumably Port Colborne and other parts of Niagara are full. And so for the various business improvement associations, for the municipality, for Niagara Parks Commission, it's an opportunity to hold events, attract the tourists, get them to spend time and money in the local restaurants and shop wherever that's possible. So, yeah, this time of year, beginning of April, it's not the beginning of the typical tourist season. So this provides a tremendous opportunity for economic development.
And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you miss it, you can't say it's coming back next year. It's going to be another 20 years before the next solar eclipse. But Mayor of Fort Erie, Wayne Redekop, we appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.